In this video, I'll be showing how this specific program is using arrays and how the arrays for it were made. So, first thing is that this program is making these heart cards dance, but it's making them all dance together, do the same dance moves, and the easiest way to get multiple objects of the same class to do something many times and the same thing is to use arrays, which is sort of the same concept as using variables, but this time instead of using a variable to prevent us from having to input numbers manually time after time, we'll be using arrays to have us be able to, with one command of code, make multiple objects do the same thing. So here in method card dance, we can see the first way to use this array in the options that Alice gives. But before we can make each object in a specific array do something, we have to go either to my first method or a specific method and make an array. In this case, it makes more sense to make the array in scene, that way it's global and can be used in any method we make, whether it be inside biped class or any other class we have, or maybe specifically for playing cards, but in this case we want this array to work for everything. So we would make it here under scene. Go all the way down, add a scene property. Since there's already a House of Cards array, I can just make another one called House of Cards 2. And I would go into value type and choose gallery class because the cards are objects. And then I could either just choose playing card, which means that all the objects that are of the type playing card are going to be selected, or I can just come here through biped and then eventually choose playing card as well. So once all of these are checked marked, I can click OK. And now that they're selected, I have to go back and under initializer, manually select all of them into this array. So here, I will go into unset and start selecting all of them, but it's not letting me select all of them, it's only letting me select one, because the way it is right now, variable is being clicked. So variable has to be selected, but also this little check mark right here that says is array, and then that's what's going to let me come to set custom array and choose each play card one by one until I have chosen all of the ones that I want to be using code with. So then I would press OK and OK again, and there I would have my array of play cards. Notice that this first array is in biped, so it's more general, and the one I just made is only specifically under playing card. Since there's already an array made, I'm just going to delete this one and keep the one that I have. Now, it's important to note that to be able to use the each in together control and the for each in, there has to be an array already made, whether it be in this method or in whatever method you're working with. So the way to make the array is that right now I have an each in together. So to make a different one and show a different example, I'm going to make a for each in, which the main difference between both of these is that the each in together whatever I tell the cards to do, they're all going to do at the same time. And the for each in is going to, for each object in my house of cards array, one by one, the code is going to be done in the order that I made the array. So if I started the array with card number 10, then card number 10 is the first that will start playing the code. So here I have to insert an array for the loop. And although I have already made it, I have to come to item type anyway, go back and specify that the array I'm going to be using is in the gallery class and is of biped. And then I press OK. And then here I want to give a name to the specific, not card that we'll be playing, but just give a name to encompass any of the cards that are in this array. So I can name it each card to differ from the current card, which is what I named the each in together. And then an array, I no longer have to check each one by one. I just have to click this house of cards because I have already made my array. So then I can just press OK. And so for each biped or each card in the house of cards, there's going to be a code run. So in other words, whatever code I place here is going to run for each card in house of cards, versus over here where whatever code I place, each card in house of cards, my array, is going to do it together. So to show what this each in together is doing, I'm going to disable this and play the program. And as you can see, they're doing everything together. So now I'm going to just use the same steps that have already been made, but I'm not going to take them out just to have it. So what I want to do is in Max, hold Option down and then drag my code down here, and in other computers, Control. So I'm going to do that for all of my methods so that I can have the cards dance the same way and be consistent. So now I'm going to disable this so that we're only focusing on what this is going to be doing. But I'm given an error and it says card dance instance my scene. So every time I get this, it's because I am placing something where it doesn't need to be. These errors pop up to show that. And in this case, it's that because I tried to, in a way, cut corners and just copy these methods from here downwards, I forgot to. So this each card is only going to change the specific name I gave whatever card the array will be cycling through. So in this case, I used current card to refer to all the cards in this array, and that's why all of these still have current card since I just copied them down. So instead of saying current card, they should now say each card, which is the name I use for every card the array cycles through in this for each in loop. So I'll just be dragging that down into each one, or pressing this little drop down arrow, going all the way down and clicking each card instead. So 2 ways to do that. And now my program should play without an error. So there, as you can see, one by one, each card is going to run through all the code of left kick, right kick, twirl, wave, and twist. And then the other card, the next one placed in the array, will go ahead and do the same. So that's an example of a for each in and the difference between an each in together and how to create an array in general. Remember that it can be used for any method, and I just decided to use it in scene. Just for further clarification, the way to make an array could also be through here. So you always start out as if you were making a variable. In this case, I'm going to set it once again to be a playing card or in the biped class. I'm going to press OK. Make sure I've checked is array. I'm just going to name it cards. And then here in initializer, I already have house of cards, but pretending that I didn't, if I was going to make a new one, I would just press custom array and then add each card one by one, once again, in whatever order I desired or in the order of numbers they were given. And in doing so, there it is. I would be able to use this array cards now instead when I'm running my program instead of house of cards. There's the option to use it instead.